Ever watched an anime and thought, why isn't this guy the main character? Some side characters outshine the lead. Deeper stories, stronger presence. Today we're ranking 6 who could have carried their own show. Subscribe for more anime deep dives. Starting off at number 6, we have a flame that burned too bright, too fast. Rengoku Kyojuro from Demon Slayer. From the moment he appears in Mugen Train, Rengoku commands attention. His voice booms with passion. His movements are sharp, precise, like a seasoned warrior, yet his smile radiates kindness. He's a Hashira, a pillar among pillars. And yet, he's not the main character. Now let's break this down. Rengoku has everything you'd expect from a shonen protagonist. A tragic family dynamic? Check. A code of honor rooted in pain? Check. Overwhelming strength that hides emotional vulnerability? Check. He's the type of character who feels like he's already lived an entire anime before the story even begins. You look at him and think, I want to see that journey. I want to follow his rise. And maybe that's exactly why he isn't the protagonist. Rengoku's power, his unwavering sense of duty, and his noble death, they serve as a mirror for Tanjiro. He's the legend Tanjiro looks up to. But imagine an alternate timeline. An anime where Rengoku was the hero, fighting his way up through grief, carrying the weight of his broken family, protecting the weak with fire in his soul. You can almost see the title screen now, Demon Slayer Flame Hashira Origins. Instead, he became a catalyst, a symbol. He lit the way forward, then vanished in flames. But even in death, his presence stole the show. And that's exactly why Rengoku kicks off this list. A character who could have carried the entire series, but instead chose to carry others. Coming in at number 5 is a character so layered, so tragic, so iconic, that many fans still think he should have been the real protagonist of Naruto. We're talking about the one, the only, Itachi Uchiha. At first glance, he's the ultimate traitor. The genius of the Uchiha clan who wiped out his entire family, sparing only his little brother Sasuke. Cold, mysterious, a walking enigma wrapped in darkness. But as the story unfolds, we realize the truth is far more twisted. Itachi wasn't a villain. He was a protector. He sacrificed everything. His honor, his home, even the love of his brother, to prevent civil war and save Konoha from imploding. That's not just character depth, that's main character energy. Let's put it in perspective. Itachi had the childhood trauma, the elite skills, the impossible moral decisions, the secret missions, the emotional breakdowns, the self-sacrifice, all the makings of a Shakespearean hero caught in an unwinnable game. And here's the kicker. Even though he dies midway through the series, his impact ripples through the rest of Naruto's story. He's the ghost that haunts Sasuke, the truth that redefines what we thought we knew about heroism, loyalty, and power. Imagine an anime told entirely from his perspective, a young prodigy watching his clan spiral into rebellion, being recruited by the hidden powers of Konoha, forced to choose between family and peace, living in the shadows, branded as a villain by the very village he saved. Tell me that wouldn't be the darkest, most emotional Naruto spin-off ever. But instead, Itachi became a myth, a side character with the soul of a main character, and a legacy that arguably overshadows Naruto himself. Up next at number 4, we head into the shadows of Attack on Titan, where one soldier redefined badassery without ever asking for the spotlight. Sliding into number 4 is the man, the myth, the clean freak, Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan. Let's be real. Levi doesn't just steal scenes, he dominates them. From the moment he's introduced, slicing through Titans like they're butter, you know he's not your average side character. Calm, precise, brutally efficient, and with a tragic backstory that hits like a punch to the gut. He's humanity's strongest soldier, but also its quietest burden. Born in the underground slums, raised in violence, he lost his friends, his mentor, his comrades, and yet he never broke. He just kept fighting. Levi isn't driven by some grand ideal or dream. He's not trying to save the world in the abstract. He fights because someone has to. He carries the weight so others don't have to. And in many ways, that makes him more heroic than Eren ever was. Now, imagine if Attack on Titan had been told from Levi's point of view. A survival story from the streets, rising from filth to become a symbol of hope. Watching leaders fall, comrades die, and ideals crumble, while staying ruthlessly focused. The world wouldn't be full of anime teens screaming about freedom. It'd be a cold, hard look at pain, discipline, and sacrifice. Levi is the eye of the storm. He's not loud. He's not flashy. But when the dust settles, he's still standing, blade drawn, eyes cold, silently asking, "Who's next?" And that's why he earns his spot here, not just for being strong, but for embodying the stoic heart of the story. Next up at number 3, we enter the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, where one man redefined what it means to be the strongest. At number 3, we have the man who walks into every scene like he knows he could solo the entire cast, Gojo Satoru from Jujutsu Kaisen. White hair, blindfold, a smirk that says, "I'm untouchable." He's the kind of character who radiates main character energy from orbit. And not just because he's overpowered, though let's be honest, he absolutely is. He warps space, manipulates time perception, and turns battles into abstract art pieces. But Gojo isn't just a walking nuke. He's the emotional core of Jujutsu Kaisen, a man balancing godlike strength with unbearable responsibility. His backstory? Pure pain. He was born into a broken system, one that feared his power, even as it relied on him to hold everything together. He watched his best friend Geto fall into darkness. He became the strongest, and then realized that being the strongest also meant being the loneliest. Now here's where it gets real. Imagine Jujutsu Kaisen told from Gojo's perspective. From cocky teenager to cursed king, carrying the weight of a corrupt jujutsu society, trying to protect his students while hiding his trauma behind that ever-present smirk. We'd see the rise and fall of his friendships, the constant tension of, can I save everyone? Or will I lose them like I lost him? That's not a side character story. That's a tragic epic. But instead, Gojo plays the mentor role. He lifts others, teaches them, sacrifices for them. And when he falls, the world feels it. Because when Gojo is gone, the light dims, the shield drops, and you realize maybe he was the real protagonist all along. Coming up at number 2, we dive into a hunter whose obsession isn't glory. It's revenge, and justice wrapped in chains. Taking the number 2 spot is a character so compelling, so intense, that every time he's on screen it feels like the anime shifts genres. We're talking about Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter. While Gon is chasing adventure and friendship, Kurapika is chasing something far darker. Revenge. His clan, the Kurda, was massacred. Their scarlet eyes, considered the most beautiful in the world, were ripped from their bodies and sold on the black market. Kurapika didn't just lose his people, he lost everything. And from that moment on, he wasn't just a hunter, he became a living weapon. Now ask yourself, doesn't that sound like a protagonist's origin? Tragic backstory? Check. Moral conflict? Check. Obsessive goal that threatens to consume him? Check, check, double check. And what makes Kurapika fascinating is how calmly he walks the line between justice and vengeance. He's not loud like Gon. He's not chaotic like Killua. He's focused, ruthless, surgical. When we enter the York New City arc, Kurapika takes center stage. And honestly, it feels like he is the protagonist. He's the mastermind, the strategist, the emotional anchor. And when he finally unleashes his chain abilities against the Phantom Troop, it's not just satisfying, it's terrifying. Because Kurapika is the kind of character who sacrifices his own lifespan for the chance at vengeance. He literally crafts abilities that can only be used to kill a specific group of people. He doesn't want power. He wants retribution. Imagine a version of Hunter x Hunter where we follow only him. The slow burn of tracking down his clan's killers, the moral erosion, the moments where he wonders if he's becoming what he hates. That's not just a side story. That's an anime masterpiece waiting to happen. Kurapika didn't choose the spotlight, but when it found him, he didn't blink. He stared straight into it and chained it down. And finally, at number 1, we head into the most controversial entry of all, a man whose actions redefined villainy, heroism, and the very idea of who deserves to lead the story. And at number 1, we have a character so magnetic, so horrifying, so utterly unforgettable, that he didn't just steal the show, he hijacked the entire narrative. This is Griffith, from Berserk. At first, Griffith looks like a prince out of a fairy tale. Elegant, charismatic, brilliant in battle, he leads the Band of the Hawk with unshakable confidence, inspiring loyalty so fierce it borders on worship. But behind those angelic features is an ambition so sharp, so absolute, it cuts deeper than any sword. Now here's the twist. For most of Berserk, Griffith actually feels like the protagonist. Think about it. He has the dreams. He makes the plans. He builds an army from nothing, conquers entire kingdoms, and carves a path toward a destiny only he can see. Even Guts, the actual protagonist, spends a good portion of the story orbiting around him. But Griffith doesn't just fall from grace. He dives. When his dream slips from his fingers, he makes a choice that defines the darkest turn in anime history. He sacrifices everyone who ever loved him. He becomes Femto, and in that moment, he doesn't just destroy Guts' world, he becomes the villain of his own story. And that's why Griffith tops this list. Because he was the protagonist. Until he chose not to be, he had the talent, the charisma, the narrative weight. And then he shattered it all in pursuit of a dream that demanded everything. Griffith shows us that not every would-be hero stays on the path. Some take the spotlight and burn the world with it. And that's our list. 6 characters who could have been the real protagonists. Which one do you think deserved the spotlight? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more anime deep dives.